Okay, welcome back. ElksCentral, recapping week 5. Edmonton 39, Ottawa 33. Declan, Eddie, Pat, Rick here alongside you. And first of all, man, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Woo. First win of the season.
We got it.
Felt great. Complete offensive performance. I mean, just really quick initial thoughts on the game.
Well, we said, man, must win, right?
Yeah,
and
we did.
They went out there and they got the job done. Up 22-3 in the first quarter. That was sweet.
It was, you know what's funny about that? So obviously it was 22-3. It was 22-3 with 3:12 left in the second quarter. Then Ottawa got those back-to-back scores. And they had a chance with like 12 minutes left in the third to go up on Trey Ford's, the strip sack there that ended up getting turned over for the ref and the passer. But I was just thinking about the tweet being like, they were up 22-3 with 3:12 left. It's not 12 minutes. But doesn't happen.
No.
Complete offensive performance. Justin Rankin, game MVP. I know we'll get to that a little bit later. But man, like this Elks team, this offense was firing. I thought Trey did a great job in all the situations he was in. Rank was obviously outstanding. One of my biggest credits for this game was the offensive line. Like the way they played. I couldn't believe it. The holes they were creating.
Yeah.
They came in third most sacks given up in the CFL this season. They only give one. Now, granted, Ottawa doesn't have like a vaunted defensive line or anything, but only the one sack given up. The holes they created. I talked to Justin Rankin after the game, and I said, "Man, like take me through that. That second touchdown of yours, because they were going. It looked like it was a designed weak side A gap." And he just, the hole on strong side A was so big.
Yeah.
He makes a cut, gets to the second level and just gone.
There was nobody there.
And what he said was, Matt, you guys could have scored that. Like you guys could have scored if you hit that hole. And it's true. Cause that gap, it was like 8 yards wide. I couldn't believe
it.
So
you got the wheels to get there, Deck?
I might've had the wheel. You know what's crazy? I'm not.
You're getting caught, bro.
Yeah, I probably would. I remember in a high school football, I had the cleanest jump on this route one time, strong side. Just cleanest jump on the route. They had ran this out route like 6 times, so I knew it was coming. Cleanest jump on it, get the ball, and I get ran down by the quarterback.
Ooh, that's when I was like, by the quarterback.
I mean, he had a decent angle on me, but that's when I was like,
"Ooh, you got hawked."
That's when I was like, "Damn, I don't got wheels." Like, because you know what? I'm a distance runner. Like put me in like a marathon, half marathon, I'll get flying. But
you never want to get hawked by the QB. That's like a returner getting hawked by the punter or the kicker.
Oh, dude,
never.
It's like, or like when the kicker like makes a tackle and they get the drug test letter the next day. It's like, yeah, we gotta check.
Yeah, they get pissed.
Speaking of wheels, man, I didn't know Rank had wheels like that. Like that dude can fly.
Yeah. Like, he just ranked the tank, huh?
No, he ain't just. And he like talking to him after, like you see him, like you think of him as the bulky kind of power back. Which he is, and I still think he is, but he's built like a speed back. Like he is built fast, and you saw it. And another cool thing about him, he dapped up every media member afterwards.
Oh, he did.
He did, yeah. And I was like, damn, this guy's cool as hell.
Yeah. Good head on him.
But I mean, Matt, like just all around complete offensive performance.
It was, and you know what, man, like. You take a look at this club the past couple of years, under the previous regime. I know none of that matters, but how Trey Ford's game was, he's in year 4 now. He's playing, we've said this, the best football of his career. He went 15-17 yesterday, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't airing it out big chunks at a time, 20-yard passes and things, but he was efficient, Deck. And when you go 15-17, I mean, he started 9-9.
Yep.
That's as good as you could ask your quarterback to be. A lot of short throws, get him in rhythm. Credit to Jordan Maximic, their offensive coordinator.
Yep.
But what I'm really seeing from Trey, and this one was ingrained in my mind yesterday, he's standing in the pocket, barely using his legs. He knows he's got that ace in the hole always, but he's barely using his legs, standing there, trying to become a pocket passer. And he's actually waiting, taking late hits and stuff like that, really forcing himself to stay there and become that rounded passer.
And one thing I think we had kind of criticized him for a little bit, or not criticized, but just kind of questioned and thought about, was that maybe he gets a little panicky going through his progressions. He had completions to 8 different receivers yesterday.
That's good.
Like spreading the ball out, spreading it well.
Point guard right there. That's quarterback.
Yeah.
Point guard.
And here's another thing, man, because we had talked about this a little bit, like where's Curly? The clip came out on social media, where's Curly? In like the 4th quarter of the game, it kind of dawned on me. It's like, they don't really need him. Listen, you would love to have him. And like, obviously you want to get a player like that involved when he's that talented, but like Steven Dunbar playing great, Rankin in the passing game has been great. Yeah, Trey is finding connections with all receivers, it seems. And that is a great testament to him and to you as well. Like you mentioned Jordan, like Jordan is really, I think it was most evident in the Winnipeg game and then in this game that he is putting Trey in situations he's comfortable with. And that's huge. That's huge for a young quarterback's confidence.
Taking what you said even a step further too, in terms of spreading the wealth, everybody getting love. That's a good, healthy sign for this team because you don't want a young quarterback like Trey being locked in on one receiver, thinking that you only got the one go, like a Geno Lewis, for example, how it had been here in the past. Yes, he's great, but you want to share that love because it's going to make it easier on Trey. Find the open guy because there's always going to be an open guy. Don't force it to one, playmaker. And that will in turn let the team have so much more success. And we're seeing it every game this year. This offense has come and gotten better and better.
Yeah, you make such a good point. Like, I think so often there's kind of this notion or tendency with a young quarterback that they have to get their star involved. And again, like part of that was Curley not, helping himself, but Trey not forcing it and just being comfortable and just being reliable. Then one of the things I asked Coach Killam after the game as well was like it was a lack of design rollouts for Trey. And I think most people kind of agree that his best attribute is his legs. And I asked, like, is that just more comfortability with him as a pocket passer? And Killam says, yeah, that's probably a question for Jordan and the plays he's calling, but like Trey's doing everything he's asked. He's executing what he's asked and we're taking solace in that. And the offense is scoring. And that's what it's about, man. Like, and if you can, you don't want Trey to become a permanent pocket passer because like his best attribute is his legs. But I get where they're coming from, developing him like that. And still, like when he runs, we saw it in, what was it, the fourth quarter? When it was the 2nd and 10 or whatever it was, and he did take that big pop. Like you want to get your quarterback out of those situations, but he's really developing, not even develop. He's just really a nice pocket passer. It seems like he's got good touch, good confidence. You're loving what you're seeing.
So I got a question for you. You're out here grinding, man. You're down at the post-game media avail with Coach Killam, working here, doing this morning. What was Killam's feeling like? Of course, he got that monkey off his back, popped that cherry as a head coach, got his first one.
Yeah, man.
What was his vibe like?
Well, hold on. Actually, we got a video of him celebrating here. We'll pull that up quickly. We got that one right there. I mean, you just see the boys fired up. He gets the Gatorade bath. Look at him. He's loving it.
Orange,
loving it.
It was orange flavor.
Yeah, it was orange flavor. And listen, to your credit, like to your question, sorry. His vibe was like happiest I've seen him. Like it's, you don't like he didn't have a win as a head coach yet, and you're around him at practice, and game day before it's always walkthrough, but it's intense. Like, what you're going into, and, talking to him after the loss against Montreal, like it's never great, but he was fired up, man. He was happy. He said he had his family in town. He's going to make his brother-in-law buy him drinks. He was just on top of the world, man. And it was really radiating through the post-game media veil. And you could just tell, like you said, total monkey off the back. Knew that this was a very winnable game. Kind of a must-win. I don't want to say must-win game, but I guess we were calling it a must-win game.
It was, man. Because especially with what happened with Calgary beating Winnipeg, it was a must-win.
Yeah, 100%. And he knew that, and he went in prepared, and he came out happier on the other side, man.
Had the boys ready.
Absolutely. Rick, Pat, boys, what did we think of the game last night? I didn't have a chance to ask you right off the top.
I thought that first quarter is probably the best quarter we've played all year, if not maybe a couple of years. I got a little bummed out in the second quarter, though. Like, we kind of took our foot off the gas there. I don't really know what happened there. I don't particularly understand putting in Fajardo for the driver too.
Me neither, bro. We'll
right?
chalk that up. I don't get that, man.
You've got, Trey Ford, what was he? 158.3? Like, he was a perfect passer rating yesterday. So I don't really understand why they brought him in. You've got a quarterback that kind of needs reps in this offense to get better. So it confused me a bit. And then I was screaming at my friends, we need to get the running game going again here. And eventually when they did in the third quarter, he broke holes and he started to get some points again. So overall, it was a great game. But I think there's still some things you got to clean up in the middle. And then the defense still, 33 is a lot, man. Like, I get it's a win, so I don't want to harp on anything negative here, but you can't give up 33 to every team in the league. No, you really need to cinch that down still.
I do want to talk about the defense a little bit more in a second, but to the first point you made about getting Cody in, because again, Coach Killam after the game was asked about, Trey and Cody both getting reps. And I had this exact quote here. I'll pull it up. He said, we had a plan going in. We wanted to give them some more snaps and we stuck to it. They handled it like pros. So my thing, this is what I was thinking. Like Trey, I think has played well. I think he's played better every week. But the reality is he was 0-3 this season as a starting quarterback. Tough lineup. Like Nathan Rourke. I know he's not on the defensive side of the ball, but Nathan Rourke, the Montreal, the Winnipeg. Montreal, the Winnipeg. Like that's tough. But my thing is the plan was, listen, even though he's playing well, he's 0-3 as a starting quarterback this season. This is a must-win game. And Cody was Grey Cup MOP 2 years ago and had a great start to last season before he got injured. So the plan, like I get what he means by saying, listen, we had a plan and we stuck to it. I get credit to sticking to his guns. The thing is, if there was a time to deviate from that plan, it was this game because Trey was playing so well. It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I still don't get it. Like, if Trey is your guy, I understand you're 0-3, must win. And they had a plan, and clearly they had a plan.
And they stuck with it.
Yeah, because you're up 22-3, and Trey was dealing. Trey was 9 of 9 when you took him out. Now, Cody came in, 4 of 4 for 30 yards, short passes. But it made no sense. It brings me back to my career. I played with some legends, Kevin Glenn, Henry Burris, Mike O'Reilly. And never in my day can I remember them subbing out the starting quarterback, taking one of these guys out of the ball game just to get the backup some reps. I still don't understand it. If Trey is your guy, just stick with him, especially when he's rolling. Look, I get you got a good backup in Cody, but there was just no need for it yet. And Trey really, I mean, Rick brought it up. Trey and the offense haven't been the thorn in the ass this year. It's been the defense that has been kind of the issue all season long.
And defense, I wanted to give the team their flowers off the back, got their first win. But defense, they're giving up 35 a game coming into this one. They give up 33 against a team that's averaging under 20 points a game this season. Like Ottawa is not. And here's the other thing. Drew Brown, I gave him a lot of credit for this because the TSN had the stat that Drew Brown had the second highest percentage of games with 400 yards in CFL history. This Elks DB group, and it's defense as a unit, but the DB group, they were 9th in pass yards coming against, and they held him to, I don't want to say held him to, but he had under 400, obviously. He finished with 316 and 2 touchdowns, but with like 6 minutes left in the fourth, it was 239 and 1. Like he had that final extended drive and touchdown. I'm not going to call it garbage time because the game was.
But the numbers are inflated a bit, for real.
Now, Pimpleton obviously had the punt return TD, so it was only 26 given up by the defense. Run. Yeah, I was looking at his numbers on the roster. He's like listed at like 5'8", 160.
Yeah, he's a little.
Yeah, tiny little. Just flies.
Tough
though.
to tackle.
He's like Speedy Banks.
For real?
Yeah. But to that point, like defensively, they finally had a pass breakup. Kobe Williams. And he actually misread the route. But he was able to make a play on the ball. So it's then again, no sacks. But overall, I thought penetration from the defensive line was better.
Got some pressure.
But yeah, as a defense, you give up 26, 33 as a team as a whole against a team that is only averaging 19 a game. Now I get Drew Brown was back in. Probably not what you want to see. I mean, you probably still need to shore that up. Another thing I wrote down was I feel like every play, it's the third tackler who finally makes the tackle. Like 7 out of 10 defensive plays, it's the third guy in who finally makes the tackle.
Way to spot that, Deck. Yeah. I agree totally with that, man. The first guy is rarely able to secure that tackle. And when we just look at the defense as a whole, Rick, you said it, not trying to be Debbie Downer, it's positive now. They won. Great. They needed that win. Too many points, not enough pressure, no turnovers generated.
Yep.
And it's just the same story over and over again. And my boy, JC Sherritt, hell of a leader, a hell of a player. He's still young as a coach. I mean, he's been coaching positionally for the past 6-7 years, but as a D coordinator, this is still new in the professional ranks. So he's still figuring it out. I think they'll get there. If they start to progress like the offense has, week to week, get better and better, they'll be okay.
Speaking of, who's going to be a head coach one day is Grimesy. That guy, watching him get fired up after that third down stop late in the fourth quarter, like that guy's emotion. He loves it. Oh, buddy.
I saw him.
His emotion, like no other. Like I was looking and I was like, he's going to find his way into being a head coach.
Talk about a teammate. Talk about a DB who hits. Like,
no doubt. Oh yeah, he would pop you. We gave a lot of love to Justin Rankin, rightfully so. One of my notes, very analytical here. I just wrote Javon Leake and then all caps baller. We have his punt return here. Let's pull up his punt return because that was cold as hell. Ottawa was only giving up 8.4 yards per punt return this year. Edmonton hadn't had a punt return touchdown since August 28th, 2015, I think it was. And Javon here just goes. And here's the thing. That seam. Yeah, that's all he needed was to split the seam there. He almost Leon lets it.
Yeah, he did. You see with the ball?
Look at him here. Hold on. Slow. No, get in there. Oh, there we go.
He knew he was in, though. He knew he was in. That was such a needed play too. Yep. Hadn't been a punt return since
10 years is crazy.
10 years, man. Since when we won the Grey Cup. Shout out, actually 10-year anniversary, by the way.
Yeah, no
2015 Grey Cup.
Yeah, you would have. Do you remember watching that one on the sidelines? I think it was Lawrence.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
It was him.
But a guy's kicking it into high gear too, and he puts the head down.
A funny one I heard up in the press box after this one was Ottawa's going to be looking for a new special teams coordinator after this one.
Psych.
First of all, their special teams coordinator is Bob Dice, who's their head coach. So probably not. But also they got a punt return touchdown right after that. Yeah. I like that punt return. Sometimes it'll just be a returner making a play, hitting the seam. Sometimes it'll be the blocking. This one was a little bit of both. But I give Javon so much credit, man, because Javon, having that big playability, playing behind Justin Rankin in the offensive game and just being okay with it and accepting his role and knowing that these two, Justin Rankin said it. He said, we're thunder and lightning. Knowing that they're thunder and lightning like that takes a lot to kind of put yourself on the back burner and, let another guy be the bell cow. But just to be cool with it and then come in and make plays like that, huge credit to Javon Leake.
With that return too, man, shout out to these special teams cats. So selfless. You got a bunch of wide receivers, linebackers, some random guys out there just giving it their all. And special teams is a straight up war. Yeah. And to be able to execute like that and open up that lane for Leak, man, shout out to those boys because, again, long overdue, a decade, and you're not getting any touchdown returns without the blockers in front of you. So shout out to those boys.
That's a decade with no punt return touchdown is crazy because kick returns generally are the rarer one. Yeah. Punt return you can find a seed.
Especially in the CFL blocking. When you get that 5-yard halo.
Exactly.
When they encourage you to catch the ball and return it. They want it. That's why the halo's there.
Putting everything around the returner to make him successful. What else do we have here?
If we're going to talk Leak, though, we got to talk about that catch over the middle.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Right. Come on. That's a running back against double coverage, making a receiver catch.
Yeah.
That was huge.
And, going back to the Winnipeg game, we got mossed a couple of times in Winnipeg, wondering how the heck did these guys come up with the ball? Well, the football gods gave it to us because he had no business catching that, and he caught that ball. And you're right, man. That was a hell of a catch there, Rick.
That was another one I wrote down. Javon Leake is the Randy Moss of Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he mossed him.
I saw that tweet, actually. That's a good one.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you just have these guys who can be playmakers out of the backfield, it is such a security blanket for your quarterback. And you don't really think of Rank or Leak as maybe Leak more so because he's generally the speed back, but you don't think of them as a CMC type or an Alvin Kamara who's constantly involved in the passing game, but they have made it part of their game and they find great
more yards here.
Rankin has been huge in the passing game. He was big in BC in week 1. He's been big throughout the season. He was big again this week, led the team in receiving yards.
Here we go. Let's run this.
That's a great pass, but that's a great catch by
the ball was late. If he throws that ball on time, that's he's hitting his head off the goalpost.
And running backs aren't known for catching the ball like that.
Because see how the Leak has to hold up. That was on time because he was behind the coverage.
Yeah,
but hell of a catch.
Trey was asked about this one as well in the post game, and he kind of just said he was yeah, I can't lie. Well, the ball was up there. I was a little nervous, but I trusted my guy to go get it, and he did go get it.
Well, because
and again, not being a wide receiver, that is trust in a guy to make plays in the passing game
to finish, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a hell of a play.
Second and 8, flip the field too, really nicely.
Exactly. Yep. Needed that play.
Overall, offensively, I don't know what you can point to offensively and have problems with. The one thing I wrote down really early in the game was that I said Trey was better at going through progressions in the pocket, which comes with better protection. but then he wasn't trusting himself to go for it, which is weird because he loves to go for it. And then as the game went on, he started just going for it. So that kind of became a moot point. So even something like that's like a minor quibble, he immediately kind of plays himself out of, and you're like, oh, okay. Like offensively, I don't see, I don't want to say I don't see any problems, because you can always improve. You can always do things better. But again, like, man, 15 for 17, like, it's tough to get a higher completion rate than that. Like, you look at what these guys did in the backfield. Like,
I'll talk about the backfield for a sec. Rank had a huge game, passing and rushing, but what did he go for rushing? 12 for 105. 105.
Longest was 74.
So that goes 11 for 28 or whatever it is.
11 for 31.
Yeah. So, that's not great. Let's just call a spade.
No, you're right.
Take that big one out and it changes the numbers up drastically.
Yep.
So they weren't just pounding the rock all game.
No, but
so there are things to improve on.
For sure. There's always something to improve on. I think we've both been calling for a commitment to the run game. This was one of the games where I was fine with it being kind of on the back burner a little bit, because the passing game was so successful, and the RPOs they were running, like Trey he was getting it out quick.
He was,
and that's what you need. And so I look at, like, listen, yeah, you want more commitment to actually pounding the rock, and you want more commitment to, first down, like 5-6 yard runs, and just, wearing up the defense, like making it second and short off the run game. But the passing game was working so well that it's one of those ones that you're like,
being used.
Yeah, with like no one had over 100 yards, but like I said, 8 different guys with a catch,
screen passes, a lot of short,
lot of short stuff,
Trey was on time. He was on time for the most part.
He was. Stephen Dunbar as well. That was another one, similar to how I wrote down Javon Leake, baller in all caps. I wrote down Stephen Dunbar Jr., playmaker.
Straight up.
He's great, man. Like, he's my WR1.
Yeah, he's
SB1.
He's a dog out there.
Yeah,
he's a dog out. You can tell. And he's physical too. He blocks.
Yep.
Much like how I talk about DBs coming down and tackling, receivers need to block to have those big plays bounce as well.
One part about the offense I'm worried about, though, is the short yardage. I think we had 3 or 4 times where it's whatever down and 1, and you couldn't get there. We had 2 tries from, I think, our own 30-ish or something like that.
38, yeah.
2nd and 1, nothing. 3rd and 1, nothing. To the point where at the end of the second quarter, we didn't even go for it on 1 or 2 yards. We just punted it. Like, we had so many opportunities to go 1 yard, and we couldn't get that. That's massive in the CFL. You want to get that 3rd and 1, right? Because that's almost a give me.
Yeah, it is.
Especially yard up.
You're punting on 3rd and 1. We're in trouble.
Should be a gimme. You're right.
They did. The broadcast was coming into the game. They were 4 for 5 on short yardage conversions, which I guess is a yard or less. But yeah, they did. Rick made a great point, because I meant to write that one down. That they did not look great in those short yardage situations. Didn't hurt them too much in the third. I think it was the third quarter there. I never love going for it on 3rd and short, even. I don't love going for it even if it's 3rd and short from your own 38.
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Man.
Okay.
You trust in your players. I love that. As a player, you feel empowered.
But your
coach has your back.
Wouldn't the argument be, like, defensively? They're like, shit, they don't trust us to, like, if we punt the ball, get on the field.
You could always make those arguments, right? If for anything, you could make up some sort of reasoning, right? But whenever a coach is gambling, that to me, he's empowering his players. He's saying, I trust you boys, go out there and get it for us.
Here's another one. The crowd, bigger.
I was just going to bring that up.
Pop during any score, really, but the pop at the end of the game when Trey was kneeling, huge.
Yeah,
like the fans were behind
chills,
them.
Man.
Yeah.
Woo!
And the crowd
got that dub at home.
Yes, and it was definitely bigger than I don't know, like, sitting from the press box, you look out onto the east side of the field, and the west side behind the Elks bench is always full. Like, you were down there, right? It looked filled.
Yes,
it looked filled, and the east side,
west side was thick.
Yeah, it was good.
East side, still
a little bit
between
thinner.
the 30s was okay.
Swiss cheesy, still a little Swiss cheesy, little holy. Put it this way, I watched the game from like so many different places.
Yeah.
I saw you up in Media Row.
Yeah.
I'm in the alumni room. I went actually and watched the whole second quarter from the east side, and it's so sparse you can pretty much go and pick any seat you want right behind the bench. So
I still it was eye test. It was a definite upgrade from week 1.
So now it's
a dub. So
we got BC coming here on Friday.
West
you fellas are expecting, Sunday. My bad. And then it's not Friday night football yet. You fellas expecting a much better crowd or what? Now that we got this a little momentum generated? I think so.
Yeah, 100%. I think the crowd will definitely grow. Like, I think BC is also a bigger draw from the opponent fan base than Ottawa, which is huge.
Western opponent.
You get the win.
I don't know. In the mix.
Yeah, right in the and here's the thing, like BC, this is a get back one because that week one, I'm not going to say it's going to haunt you, but
now they want that one back.
They want that one back. That's a winnable game and that's a beatable team. And I think they know that now coming to play in their barn. Like, I think you're really looking forward to that if you're Edmonton.
Well said on the get back game. That's exactly how those boys are talking in the locker room.
Rick, sorry, you were saying something. We interrupted you a little bit just a second ago there.
No, like, listen, there was we got to the short yardage part there. That was one of my biggest concerns when it comes to the attendance for next Sunday. I think once you get that first win out of the way, the record kind of eases up a little bit. People don't sit there and go, you haven't won yet, anything like that. This offense has been so good, guys. We've seen it. It is exciting to be out there. It's exciting to watch. As long as we get weather like we had yesterday, if it's not pouring, there's no reason why we can't have more next week than we had this week.
Well, it's tough also because like 10 minutes before kickoff, I was sitting there and the crowd was looking at Sid. I'm thinking like, fuck. This ain't good. Like, because the weather cleared up. I know it rained earlier, but the weather cleared up. But then by kickoff, I don't know. I don't know what everyone's doing 10 minutes before, bro. Like, everyone's at Popeyes because it was empty in there. But then, like, game starts and it's filled out. What was I going to say? I had another point to make about next week. I guess we'll get to that in a second. But overall, I mean, defense wins championships. Offense puts butts in seats. Yeah, winning puts butts in seats. Yeah, but offense puts butts in seats, and this team offensively, electric.
It's as good as we've seen it in the past half decade.
Electric.
Easily.
Yep.
Since 2020 plus. Like, easily.
They got to put a spotlight on those running backs because those guys are special. Our offense kind of lives and dies with the running backs.
It's true, Rick. Yeah, it's
like really they've broken out big plays almost all 4 games this year so far to kind of get the offense going. Like, those running backs are massive.
Yeah, they are.
And we've seen it. They can run. And now we got guys catching over the middle for 40 some odd yards in double coverage. So
ranking out of the backfield for that big tug early. Like, yeah, you're right, Rick. Mm-hmm. Their offense goes through those 2 running backs. It really does.
Yep.
And then everything flows outside.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, like if you go to, CFL.ca or something and look at like the offensive metrics, it may not jump off the page to you in terms of like ranks, but I think a lot of that is also other teams having really good off, and it's like not a true indicator of like how good and how electric this Edmonton offense can be. Like 39 points is a lot of points to put up in a football game. That's a lot of points to put up in a football game. Now, obviously, a punt return touchdown helps, but the offense flying, electric. And people want to, as much as people want to see winning first, but people want to see the excitement. Like, we can sit here and appreciate like a great, stunt on the defensive line. And like a great blitz package and a great, great press coverage where hands in his pocket all the way and you make a play on the ball. But people want to see punt return touchdowns, and they want to see 74-yard touchdowns from Justin Rankin. And they want to see Javon Leake make a catch in triple coverage. You know what I mean? So it's like those things that I think go a long way for filling the seats. It's
exciting, man.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine this, fellas. All this exciting offensive play, returns on special teams. Imagine if the defense did their part. Yeah. Imagine an interception or a huge sack on
just
second
give us
down.
Just give us one.
Just something, a turnover, just a play made on D. And actually, like, you see the defense, they were fired up yesterday. Niles Morgan, Nick Anderson, those boys were fired up. They're hyped up when they were making tackles, celebrating. Now, let's just see a play on defense. Just then all 3 phases are really chipping in.
Another one, speaking of the defense, Cordell's flag for unnecessary roughness. Explain that one to me. Explain that one to me like I'm 5.
Man, it's hard to. Do we got the clip?
I'll work on it.
Yeah. Let's try and get the clip.
Dude, it was because I saw the ref throw the flag and she acted like there was a gunshot on the field. Like, I've never seen a ref throw the flag with that much vigor. Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, what was he supposed to do? Honestly, I forget who it was across the middle. It might have been.
Was it Eugene? No.
Maybe it was Gino. It might have been Gino. Because I'm thinking, like, he's going down. Like, is Cordell just supposed to fly by?
Yeah.
Like,
which one? No, I'm confused now. Which one are you talking? Was that the big one towards the end where he cut his legs?
Yeah.
No, that was bad, man.
Where he cuts his legs.
What are you supposed to do? Like, as a DB, and Gino had the ball, and it's
not
like
I'm saying.
It wasn't a bang bang play. No. Like, Cordell had the chance to go and make that tackle, and Gino had the chance to go and make a move.
Yeah.
you know?
And like as Gino's going down, like, do you want him to go high?
Yeah.
And headhunt him?
Yeah,
like, what are we doing?
And they eliminate high hits, you know, for concussions and protect the head. But then, so you flag a guy for cutting low. I just don't get it as a defensive player. And I always, whenever I coach kids at camps and things like that, I always say take the legs out,
for
man.
sure.
You can't run without
100%.
I've seen so many guys get juked and shaken out of their shoes because they're staring at the chest or the hips, and that's not it. Stare at the legs.
Yeah, break down.
Yeah,
take
man.
Out the legs.
Break down and take the legs. They ain't going nowhere with no legs.
Yeah, so like, I can't reiterate it enough. Like, because I watched the ref throw the flag, and it was a murder. You would have thought it was a murder the way she let that flag fly. I couldn't believe it, but like, whatever. It doesn't hurt him in the end, but it's things like I don't know. It's just one of those things that you're like, really? Like, this is what we're throwing flags on? Overall, but Cordell, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because Cordell was laying some bodies. He was laying some big.
Yeah, he was playing
hits.
physical yesterday.
Bynum as well. Bynum was laying some big
Cordell, you could tell he had that attitude about him.
Yeah,
you could tell.
Sure.
Just as the guy's walking around, body language is everything.
Oh,
you know, you can.
Well, shit, man. We talked to him. First episode of ElksCentral we did. He said, and we asked him, would you rather win the Grey Cup this year, play like shit and give up football, or lose 5 straight, but you win 5 DPOYs? And he says, man, I want to win the Grey Cup.
You want to win.
Like, that's the mentality he has. Like, he goes out there dog. He's trying to win. Yeah. And you see it. You see it with the plays he makes.
When you see the defenders start playing with a little bit of more swagger than normal than they have been so far this year, doesn't that kind of say, you know what, this defense is sort of coming together here? And then the next game or two, you can expect them to start produce as a squad, as opposed to, you know, individual guys stepping up here and there. Like, there was that knockdown right at the end zone. I can't remember who it was, but it was like right in front of me. Right now, I was sitting on the east side, and he just turned his hips the wrong way. Otherwise, if he turns them the other way, he catches that and he goes probably the whole distance. But when I see the defense starting to play with that and just walking around swagger like that, that tells me like the unit is coming together. Close. And it's a game or two away from really taking over.
Yeah, you noticed that too. Hey, Rick, throughout the game, how the D, they were hyped up for each other.
Oh, yeah.
I really noticed that as well, man. And it's those little things. You're right, Rick. They are close.
Because now you don't have those silly little passes like Winnipeg that dropped in there when the defender was right on his hip.
You used to play ball, Rick?
Nope.
And for someone who's never been in
a lot of Madden in the early 2000s.
Oh boy, I would have smoked you in Madden, Rick. Who's your team in Madden?
I swap it around. So I'm an NFL guy. I'm on the Dolphins. But when it comes to that, I have to you got to do a little drafting. You have to do a little UFA guys to kind of fill up their lineup a bit.
Would you have like a franchise? You would do seasons?
Always.
Yeah, me too.
Always, man. I was killing it back then.
We had, probably like 10 years ago, there was like 20 of us in a group chat, and we just would run seasons and be our GMs and stuff. Yeah, it's the best.
Dude, I remember as a kid playing Madden 07 on PS2, like franchise mode. It was Madden 07, but Randy Moss he wasn't on the Pats. He was on the Raiders.
Yeah.
And so I remember like going into like franchise mode or whatever, and I traded Vince Wilfork and a first for Randy Moss because I just didn't understand the value of defense. I just wanted to go I just wanted to throw bombs to Randy. Wasn't even a Pats fan, but yeah, man, dude, the reason I became a Bills fan is because of Madden, because I would play Madden 06 with my dad, and he would always take kick returns for touchdowns against me with Darren Sproles and the Chargers. So I was like, shit, I gotta find a team that I can like take.
Who's their returner?
Roscoe Parrish.
Oh, Roscoe
Parrish. Now, I didn't think
he was a good slot back too.
Because if I couldn't take those kicks back, so I had to play with fucking JP Lossman as my quarterback. That wasn't very fun.
Roscoe.
But yeah, rolled with the Bills ever since.
Spiller back then,
dude. Oh my, CJ Spiller, Tyrod Taylor, Fitzpatrick. Dude, Nathan Peterman started 2 games for my team. I think the Elks had it bad. Imagine watching Nathan Peterman start 2 games for your NFL team. Man. Dude, there was one of my favorite stats is like if Nathan Peterman came out and threw his like next 10 passes directly into the turf, it would like make his passer rating go up. He had that stat at one point because it was so bad. All he would do is throw big sixes.
Yeah. Dude, I remember that. Yeah, he came in and threw like 3 pick sixes in a game, didn't he?
Oh, probably I remember that. Probably somehow in the same drive. He probably threw a pick 6, call back for a penalty. Pick 6, call back for a penalty. One more pick 6. He was. Shout out to Nathan Peterman though. Still kicking in the NFL. He's done it.
He's rich.
Oh yeah. He did okay for himself. Do you have a offensive and defensive player of the game?
Ooh,
all you got?
Yeah. Let's go. Offensive player of the game. I mean, low hanging fruit. I think.
I know. How can you not?
How can you not go through rank the tank? You know, as much as we want to try and spread the love with what he did in the pass and the run game, it's got to be him. 2 tugs, first 2 on the year. Defensive wise, Niles Morgan, man, he was out there, really set the tone. Again, going back to what Rick touched on, just the way you could see they're playing for each other, right? And just the celebrating after plays made. Morgan, he was out there, you know, even just little tackles across the middle. He'd get up, jacked up, and as much as it's a simple play and it's a play that should happen, that tackle should happen. But it's nice to see guys get up, fired up, man, because it means that juice is flowing.
They care.
Yes, they care.
Rick, Pat, you guys got one?
I don't know if anyone stuck out for me defensive wise. I thought they were all relatively the same there. But I mean, if you're talking offense, 158.3 is perfect, right?
Yeah.
You got to give it a try at that point, man. If you're a perfect passer rating, what more can you ask for the quarterback?
Valid. 15 to 17, man.
Pat, you got one, baby?
Yeah, I don't have one for defense, but maybe you guys can educate me on this a little bit. But I thought watching the game, you know, as someone kind of on the outside a little bit, I thought the O-line was doing really well in this game, and the fact that they allowed Trey to have a little bit of time. And even when the defense kind of broke through, Trey kind of rolled off, and he had a really good scramble game. Like, he was still able to make those passes, and I'm sure they probably weren't his original option, but I felt like he was playing that really well, and even just creating the holes for Rank to get through right up the middle. I thought watching it, like I said, I don't have like a ton of knowledge on the game, but watching it, I was really impressed with the O-line, and maybe you can break down that a little bit for me.
I totally agree. I
Young heroes,
100%.
Give the Hoggies their love.
Get the credit they deserve. That's another thing. Talk about playing franchise mode Madden when I was younger. I'm trading Vince Wilfork and a first for Randy Moss. When I get a little bit older, you start drafting that O-line early. You know, you get the quarterback, then you get the guy who protects the quarterback. I did think they were a really underrated unit. I thought their protection was great. I thought they were giving Trey time. I thought he was very comfortable in the pocket. And when he was forced to scramble, forced to roll, it was controlled. And he was using his time doing that to go through his progressions. Like, I thought he only had the 2 carries officially in this one. Like, I thought he was making great plays when given the opportunity by his line. And I think the protection was really good. Third most sack, like I said off the top, third most sacks given up in obviously only 3 games, only 1 given up. Again, not that it's the best defensive line in the world over there on the other side, but still. And then obviously just some of the huge holes they made. So yeah, the line, which again, shake up of the line, like they're playing well. But Corte now over at center, no David Beard. Evans comes in, but I thought they were playing really, really well. And that side with McKellar and Boyko, I thought they did a great job.
As much as people are clamoring for Trey's athleticism, for him to only run 2 times, it's kind of like an oxymoron, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
For Trey, as athletic as he is, to only run 2 times. And you can see him forcing himself to stay there to pass.
Does that mean eventually in a couple of games he's going to be able to break it out again?
Yeah.
Like, once he's a little more comfortable throwing that ball and holding on and sticking it there, and then he gets to bring out like another weapon.
That's exactly
you kind of sleep on it a bit. I bet if you're watching this quarterback who everyone said needs to learn how to throw the ball better, he does it for 4, 5, 6 games. In game 7, are you going, well, he's probably going to stay back there a bit, and then next thing you know, he's past you?
That's it, man. And there's the cat and mouse game, because Trey in the past, so quick to run. You get a defender, and we saw it against Winnipeg a lot. You spy him, and if you take good angles, he's not going to outrun those angles, and you're just going to have him contained. Yeah. Now, as a passer, you can't call defenses where he's spying, because you're going to lose a guy in coverage. So now he's forcing you to have guys in coverage, and now he can annihilate you with his legs. So 100%. You banged it, man. Like,
yeah, no spy on Trey Ford is, can be a death sentence for an opposing defense. For sure.
How that comes is by him killing you by the pass.
Yeah, 100%, so then which he has the clear ability to do.
Yes.
Which again, we did brush past the Cody thing pretty quickly. Like I said, I get the thought process behind it. Pretty weird. And Cody, he had pretty decent touch on. He only had 4 passes. He had pretty decent touch for not having any passing game reps.
He's only missed 3 passes all year. I was looking at Cody's stats going back to the preseason. Really? He went like 8 of 9 one game, 7 of 9 the other game, and then perfect here.
4, yeah. He's a good quarterback. It's no no shortage of depth at that position for the Edmonton Elks. So,
No.
I think my offensive MVP, you got to give it to Rank. Although shout out Javon Leake as well. I mean, I know it was obviously a special teams touchdown, but just shout out him. Just want to give him a shout out. And then defensively, it's a boring pick because people are going to think I'm just making it because he led the box score in defensive tackles, which I kind of am. But Jalen Garnes came in last week, first game starting of the season, has that rough in the passer on Caleros that extends the drive, then gets burnt on the Dembski touchdown when really it was pretty decent coverage. And he bounces back this one playing the Sam, leads the team in tackles, double ups, defensive tackles, anyone who was a second. I think he had 9, Cordell, Niles, and Nick, Devondrick, and Robbie all had 4. Yeah. So he's flying around out there playing the Sam. I thought he deserved a lot of credit because he's a guy who, he cares. You watch him play, and he cares. When he misses a tackle, he beats something. He beats himself up about it. Not to the point where it gets him off his game, but you can just tell he's that guy who's, I got to be better. I want to be better.
Those are the guys you want in your room,
100%. And that's how he's found himself a spot in the starting lineup. Yep. And unless Manny Rugamba gets signed again, he's going to be staying in the starting lineup for the rest of the season. So big shout out to Shaylin. What else we have here? BC next week. I mean, we talked about that one a little bit. I hate trying to fly through this one, but obviously I got radio obligations here in a couple minutes I got to leave for. BC next week. BC, I don't think they're that good. No. Montreal's a big win though. Montreal, here's the other thing.
They played them tight and they came back. They had to rally to come back.
Yeah, they did. Is Montreal worse than we thought they were?
No.
2 straight losses now.
No, I don't think they're worse than we thought they were. I just don't think they're as good as we thought they were. And they're a very blue-collar team. Their record, they were winning a lot of games, but they're not putting up massive points or anything. They're a defensive team. They'll score 25 and hold you to under 20. And, look at the score in their game against BC, right? They scored 20 points right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah. Their big offensive performances were Ottawa and Edmonton, which, not great defenses, obviously. Edmonton coming into this week, of all the defensive categories that were applicable, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 possible defensive categories. Edmonton defensively ranked 9 and 8th of them.
Oh,
so not great. Do you actually have a guess for which one they weren't last in the league in?
It's got to be sacks. We have 1. There's got to be a team out there with none. We have no picks. Someone has to have no sacks.
No, we unfortunately are 9th in sacks.
Damn it.
Yeah. Or were, because this is all coming into this.
I don't know.
You got a guess, Pat?
Nothing off the top of my head.
It's rush yards against. They're actually 5th in rush yards against. Okay. Yeah, 4 teams worse than them. And the team, it's interesting because I was looking ahead to this. BC, best passing defense, worst rushing defense coming into this week.
Interesting.
So you look ahead to that one, and we talk about it a lot, but now commitment to the run game. Commitment to the run game is going to be huge. And here's another thing, because we were talking a little bit just a second ago about Trey, as he gets comfortability as a pocket passer and it opens up his ability to run the ball. Another thing is he has continuously been making the right handoffs, some right reads and a read option.
Which you questioned earlier. Yeah,
for sure. I did. And you said, with the reps, he'll be there. He did it a little bit quicker than even getting the reps. But my point being, I think defenses are going to, now I don't know this obviously, but what I think is that defenses are going to clue in to the fact, not clue in because I think they're going to be wrong, but I think they're going to think that this is a young, inexperienced quarterback who's making the handoff without making any reads. And I think ends are really going to start collapsing. And I think Trey's going to pull that shit and go.
Yeah.
And I see that happening against BC.
Man, what's really cool when we're talking about Trey is it's like we're seeing him grow up this season. We're really seeing the maturation and him take major steps. We're not just seeing him get better. Yep. We're seeing him take major steps in becoming a serious quarterback in this league.
The team's trusting him, though. Every other year, there's been someone else that's been playing even more than him, right? Last year, I thought they should have been playing him more than McLeod. But don't get me wrong. McLeod's numbers are big, but we couldn't win. Now he's getting the opportunity. The team is just saying, hey, listen, we believe in you. Do what you can do.
Eddie and Greg's had a 25-minute screaming match about
literally screaming on the air.
I
but that was good,
dude. The texts were flying in saying this is what radio should be.
Yeah, that was
you guys were on one.
opinionated. We were literally screaming at each
I
other.
remember you had finished. You were like, "Can I still come into work tomorrow?"
I had my stats because Krueger is smart. He's got his numbers. He can build the story in numbers. So I had all my stats line.
Yeah.
I was ready to go toe to toe, man.
You gotta bring
try and slay the dragon if I could.
Another cool one coming this week. Edmonton was second in the league in big plays. Saskatchewan was first, and Saskatchewan didn't play this week. So I got to think, heading into week 6, Edmonton's going to be leading the league in big plays.
Man, I just have a feeling right now, just as the CFL in general, I feel like there is some energy building and like it's ready to pop, I feel.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
A lot of people are talking about attendance and stuff, which this past week was really good. And even here, I just feel like it's starting to build and like it really could explode across the league. 100%. There is some excitement, kind of old school, going back to when the CFL really mattered to people. I feel like it's coming back again, man.
100%. Yeah, like Luke Wilson's out there trying to be the Clay Travis of the CFL, like guy who always talks about ratings and he's talking about attendance. It's like, okay, sick, man. Like anything else you want to be negative about? Like you want to tell people
calling out fan bases and stuff.
Like, do you want to tell people to hate puppies too? Like let people fucking like what they like. But I agree, man. And like the crowd, they're so behind the Elks, like the pop. And you guys were actually down in the stadium. Like you could speak to it better than I could, but the pop when there is a scoring play or at the end of the game there, like it is huge. Like they're super fans behind this team and it's great to see.
It is.
And it's a part, like it's an environment, man. Like it's fun out there. Like it's a great time.
They know the game pretty well too. Like they're a knowledgeable fan base.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what's really fun though, man, is winning. Winning is fun. Winning solves a lot.
Winning makes everything better, man. It makes food taste better.
It does. The beer is better.
The beers are better. Like the ice bath is a little,
man. Yeah, exactly. The ice tubs aren't as cold after.
It's always
a real thing.
All, man.
It's a real thing, Deck.
Winning cures all. Anything else you want to add? I think we went over everything pretty well and good. Like I'm looking at my. It's
exciting that this is our first go around together for after a win, man.
I know it's nice.
Keep it up, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep it up.
Huge win. And listen. Don't want to count the chickens before they hatch. Got to shore some things up defensively. But offensively, this team is right where it needs to be.
We haven't seen an offense like this in, like, honestly,
a long time.
What, since like 2019?
Yeah.
2018 after Mike Riley left?
Yep.
Hadn't seen offensive production like this in a long time.
And another thing that we haven't really talked about much, but it's worth mentioning is that, like, Trey Ford is a fun quarterback that you like to watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like Anthony Calvillo, one of the best to ever do it. But that dude was boring as hell.
Mm-hmm.
He would just sit there and throw the Ben Cahoon and Dave Steele. Yeah. It was like,
I feel you on that because what Trey has, like,
Trey is
the ability
fun.
that's
he gets
there.
the blood flowing.
Yeah,
you can get little butterflies when he's out there flying around.
Yeah,
oh shit, what's he going to do this time? So that's another thing to root for. And yeah, listen, offense, right direction, looking good, rolling good. Defensively, you got to short some
boys right, JC.
But again, even though they got hung for 33, 26 is a defense, I still think it was one of the better games this season.
Absolutely, it was.
Yeah,
absolutely, it was. Can't take that away.
Pat, Rick, you guys got anything to add?
Not really. Here, I'm just we're gonna welcome this win this week, and we'll walk into next week and hope for another one.
Yeah, I agree. And I think kind of to what you were just saying as well, like as far as the score goes, it maybe looked a lot closer than it was. I feel like we kind of just took our foot off the gas in that fourth quarter and maybe a couple, a little oopsies in the second quarter. But other than that, like it was a really good game. And really I honestly, quickly on that last touchdown they got, do you guys think they should have reviewed that? Like I honestly thought, I thought replays that he wasn't in.
I thought he broke the plane pretty clearly.
Yeah, his feet were in. I didn't the ball. I
thought the ball broke it pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, but either way, I just like it was that close to being, not a blowout, but the score looking a lot better in the Elks' favor. So I thought it was a good game overall, and great to see the crowd get into one, and they deserve it.
Yes, they do. Yes, shout out to all you listeners and everybody tuning in, watching us, and who showed up to the game, man.
Shit's pretty fun when you're winning. Shit is pretty fun when you're winning.
That's why we're here.
100%.
That's why we're here, man.
100%. Okay. Well, shit. I think we did it. I think we covered everything. Another episode in the books. Always fun. We'll figure out something for Elks 101 this week. We'll get a time locked down.
It's going to be a good show. It'll be juicy.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Another episode of ElksCentral in the book. Declan, Eddie, Rick, Pat, signing off. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you soon.